Behind the Mirror of Music with Dannii Cohen.
Hello and welcome to Behind the Mirror of Music. My name is Dannii Cohen. This week's guest is Jon J. Peterson. Jon Peterson is a British actor, singer, and dancer who has performed both on Broadway and the West End. He performs leading roles in Cabaret, Cats, The Sound of Music, A Chorus Line, Oliver, Mary Poppins, Dames at Sea, The Producers, and She Loves Me. In recent years, he branched out in creating one-man shows based on the lives of some of the famous song and dance men from yesteryear, including the award-winning He Wrote Good Songs on the Life of Anthony Newley and George M Cohan Tonight, for which he was nominated for a Drama Desk Award for Outstanding Solo Performance. I hope you will enjoy the show.
I'm here. Hello. Hello, great. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, very good, thank you.
I'm glad you're joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, so to ask me anything you like, I'll answer honestly and viscerally.
What are you doing right now in your life and career?
My career, I've at the moment I'm working on a concept album actually for an Al Jolson project, which is something I never thought I would do, but yeah, it's going to be a show. I don't know if it'll be with me, but I'm the concept album, so once they find someone better, they'll hook onto them. But for the time being, um, I'm going to be doing Al Jolson, not an impersonation because I think that's kind of cheap. So it's going to be an interpretation. Rather like I did a George M Cohan show a few years ago, and didn't do a James Cagney, or I didn't do what I thought Cohan would be. I did what I thought Cohan would be rather than what people would expect, because you have to be true.
I saw you did a lot of these, at least two before of these shows where you visited history and brought stories from the past. Is it something that
Yeah.
really interests you?
Yes, I always loved. I think what got me into this industry is those old black and white movies from the 1930s. Those old MGM musicals and stuff like that. I grew up with them, and I was just, I want to be in that world. So I think I've always been fascinated by the generations that have gone before, and their skills, their magic, and their magic came out of the time that, of course, that they were in. So I was always, yeah. Of course, if I'd been around then, I would have probably been killed in World War II. So there's no point in wishing I could have been at MGM in 1940 because I'd have been in Belgium getting shot. So realistically, I didn't think that one through till I was about 45. So yeah, so that's always been, I've always been interested in history. And yes, the one-man shows that I've been involved in, the George M. Cohan show that Chip Dafar wrote, again, this historic show business figure who sort of invented the musical, really. I was fascinated by that. And he came out of vaudeville, which has always been a passion of mine because of watching those old MGM musicals. They were, a lot of them were set in the vaudeville days, and they'd be traveling on a steam train. You see all the names coming up of all the towns, and that to me was like, wow. And yes, of course, I always wanted to move to New York ever since I was a kid. And within a week of getting here, I moved here in 1998 to assist Byork Lee, who is a wonderful director. She puts on a chorus line everywhere. She always has, ever since Michael Bennett sort of passed it on to her. And she's incredible. And I did it for her there in London, in England, with the UK tour. And then I came over here to assist her on a job, got a green card, and just stayed, which was wonderful. I didn't really have to try terribly hard to get my green card. It was just because I had a gig. So that was nice. I'm looking down all the time, looking at you. I should be looking at the camera, shouldn't I, really? Otherwise, people are going to think I'm either very shy or I have some sort of personality disorder. But anyway, as soon as I got to New York, I thought, wow. And within a week of being here back in 1998, I thought, ew, it's horrible. And I've been here ever since. 25 years I've been here thinking, oh, God. But it's an exciting town and there's lots of work. Or is there? I don't know, really. I think when I moved to New York, there was less work everywhere else and a lot of work here. And since I've been here, it's shifted. There's lots of work in London now. Same with LA. There's not a lot in LA anymore, but there's more in LA than there is in New York for film. But for theater, it's just big shows like Wicked and Lion King, and they're like, you know, same in London, I suppose. They're all there, aren't they? Same shows.
It's everywhere, but mostly these shows and
Yeah,
differences, but
a few scattered around. Yeah, a few others. But yes, it's and if you don't want to do those big machines, you know, I mean, you get a wage. Actually, I auditioned for Lion King. I don't know what it was for, The Bird, and the thing was so heavy, and I kept going, oh. They go, just hold it up, make it flat. And I'm like, I can't. So they like, oh, we're going to have to coach you. And then about 6 months later, they called back and said, do you want to come in and audition again? And I said, no way. I don't want anything. My wrist hurt for about 6 months after the audition. I ain't doing that shit. So, oh, do you have a beeper? Yeah, no, oh God. I hate those big shows anyway. You go to see them and they're just, yeah, it's big. It's got lots of lights thrown at it and money. What else can you say? I like those little shows in the back of a barber shop, you know, with 3 people and a guitar. That's what interests me. You know, real theater. I'm talking too much. Sorry.
what was how did you fall in love with music and acting?
Again, it was definitely when I used to watch. I saw this movie called For Me and My Girl, or was it Me and My Gal? I always get there's Me and My Girl, the show, and there's For Me and My Gal, the movie. That one, the one with Gene Kelly and Judy Garland. And I think I was 9. No, I must have been about 6, because I started dancing at 7, so I must have seen that before. And it was like a religious experience to me. I was like, that's my life. That's what I'm doing. I want to be there. So that's what inspired me to do it. And yes, and I still, if I watch that movie, it brings tears to my eyes because it's such a wonderful movie. I think it's one of the great unrecognized movie musicals. Yeah, black and white. Can't beat that.
I think I was really into when I was these movies too, because I always watched afternoon shows with my mother or my grandmother, and they were still broadcast on the BBC back then.
Sorry, I'm always drinking coffee. Yes. See, it hooks you in, doesn't it?
Yes.
It really does. Yeah. Where are you from?
Well, my father was from the UK, my mother from the Netherlands.
Netherlands. Wow. I'm going to Copenhagen. I know it's not the same. I'm going to Copenhagen in December. I go to see my mum every Christmas, and I usually stop off at one European city just to go sightseeing that I've never been to before. And I've never been to Copenhagen, so this year my trip is Copenhagen. And can't wait. I've got the book.
It always reminds me of the Dannii song.
Oh, yes. Wonderful. Yes. Oh, yeah. I'll probably be singing that when I get off the plane.
Hans Christian Andersen was one of my favorites when I was young.
Yes. Yeah. Lovely movie. Lovely. It's nice to watch at Christmas, isn't it?
Yes.
It's kind of a Christmas Eve movie. Yeah.
And I missed it when they used to always broadcast it either on Saturday or Sunday on the BBC.
Yes, they did, didn't they?
Yes.
Well, now everything's on constantly on one of 258,000 channels, so you can always find it, but no one else is watching it with you.
That's true, because I think people could find it more when it wasn't as available. That's the weird thing.
Yes, I think so too. Like when you had 5 channels, and that's all the whole country had, you'd come to school or to work the next day, and you'd all seen whatever it was.
Yes.
Here now, you're the only one out of your whole city watching this thing, and someone in Australia is watching it too, and that's it. It's all on some remote cable streaming thing. It's changing. It's all right. It's all accessible. So that's good.
What was your first professional show?
My first, I went to the Royal Ballet School for 9 years, from the age of 9 to the age of just 18. I think I was still 17 when I left. I actually had a nervous breakdown. I was that age, when I was a bit of a rebel, and I sort of freaked out and walked out of the Royal Ballet School after 9 years on a snowy day, and never went back. And I had to pay back half of my government grant that they gave you at the time. We don't get grants anymore for colleges. But yes, I was in disgrace. But that's another chapter of my life. This is kind of the Royal Ballet School. But once I was out, I was free, and I did 3 months at Northern Ballet Theatre in Manchester, which is a wonderful smaller company that worked their butts off. They worked so hard. And I did 3 months there and thought, oh, this is hard. Oh, don't they work hard? Let's get out of here. So I got on the train and auditioned for The Sound of Music. In those days, you could just get backstage or the stage newspaper and go, oh, there's an audition, and go along. Now you have casting directors guarding the door with a machete saying, no, you can't come in. But in those days, you could just show up, go to the theater on the specific time, walk on the stage, do your audition, and maybe get a job. So that's what I did. I auditioned for The Sound of Music at the Apollo Victoria Theatre, where Wicked is on now, and got the job in the chorus. My first job in the chorus of a West End show was thrilling. Maria was Petula Clark, and I think it ran for about 18 months. And after 9 months, I got to take over Rolf, the telegram boy, which was just lovely. And Petula Clark was a darling, sweet, shy lady, and just wonderful as Maria. I don't know if you've ever seen bits of it on YouTube or something, but she was just such a wonderful actress. So yeah, love her. I know she's getting on a bit now, but ain't we all? Yeah. So that was my first show, The Sound of Music, and it was such a revelation to me to be in a company of people that were so nice, because I've been in the ballet world since I was 9, and they're all, just a bunch of bitches. So this was like, these people loved what they did, and they supported each other, and they would all, take care of each other. And I couldn't believe there was such a contrast between these two worlds, where you were taught to hate yourself, or in the ballet world, and taught that everything's good, enjoy it, this is what you want to do, and in the musical theater world. So that was it. Musicals, I found my home. Yeah, that was it.
You did the role of the MC in Cabaret quite a lot. Was that on the Express?
I did it. First did it in well, I came on soon after I came to the States. I got the job as the standby to the MC on the national tour, which was just going out. They just opened on Broadway with Alan, whatever his name is, the Scottish guy, Cummings, whatever. And they were doing the tour. And they'd already been in rehearsal for 4 weeks. And then I joined as the standby to the MC. And I think within 4 weeks, I was on in LA. They were touring in LA, and they threw me on. I just sort of learned it, one afternoon a week, and learned it in my script. And they said, "You're on 2-show day." It was terrifying, but I got through it. And yeah, and I understudied or stood by. If you're a standby, you don't have to be in the theater. You can go about your day, call in at an hour before the show, and if everything's okay, you don't have to even go into the theater. So, it was fabulous. I'd be in this cocktail bar and I'd call in with a cocktail like this. Is he all right? Oh, good. Well, call me if you need me. Then, that was the day. I don't drink anymore, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Wonderful show. And then when Guy played it left, I took over and did it for another 2 years on the road. And then I think about a year, not even quite a year after that, they needed someone in New York just for like a short few months. So I got to do it briefly in New York as well on Broadway, which was lovely. But again, it's the most wonderful show, and I could do it till I drop dead quite happily. It's because it's such an important show. That the message, the story, so beautifully written. And again, of course, it's history. Everything I do is historical. Yeah, I loved it. I haven't seen this current production. I saw the Tonys, and my partner went to see it, and he came home after seeing the show, and he said, "Don't go see it, Johnny. Don't go see it." I'm like, "Okay, I won't go see it." It just looks different, which is wonderful, which is what theater is all about, trying to put a different slant on things. But I don't think the slant sort of is my sort of slant, so I don't want to see it. That's all. I'm sure it's fabulous, but not my sort of fabulous.
I think it's a real, you either love it or hate it, I believe, at this one, because I've seen people
Yes.
loving it, and I think people who knew the show from the past are more in the hating it route.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
which probably includes me, because the production that I did, the Sam Mendes one, at the time, everybody was like, "Oh God, it's just awful. It's 290s. It looks like a night." I remember the tattoos. We all had to wear tattoos, and they were 1990s tattoos. Some of them, which was a little like what's the word? Anachronism. Yeah, anachronistic. Is that the word? I don't know. I never did English at school. I was in ballet school. So there were aspects of that weren't quite right. But Sam Mendes did a wonderful job of bringing out the pace of the show, the looming fate of the world, really, that was waiting to. So he built that pace so beautifully, and the end of the show, the way he directed it was absolutely harrowing. I mean, it was no bars, no punches pulled. It was amazing. So take my hat off to him, Sam Mendes, for that. And doing it was so rewarding, but so exhausting. Emotionally, you would, be spent after every show, emotionally as well as physically, as the MC. And by 2.5 years of doing it, I was exhausted and very thin. But yeah, it was worth it. And they paid a lot of money, which I've spent.
How do you see the character of the MC when you play him?
How do I see it? Yes, I see him. It is sort of such a complex character. He's not only the MC of the Cabaret in a backstreet club of Berlin in 1930, 33, whatever. That's who he superficially is, or who he is. But he's also, in this play, he acts as the MC for the audience as well, obviously. But he also becomes fate. He becomes the times. Yeah, he becomes the turning of the pages. He's not just turning the pages, but he is the pages turning, So he's almost not human. He's like a sprite almost. So there's so many aspects to the MC, and in the end, he becomes a victim, of course, which was in Sam Mendes' version anyway. So in the end, the whole world that he represents and shows us gets him. And then the whole thing evaporates and it's over. Magical. Oh, well done, Sam Mendes.
I think it's such a story that will always remain of its time, I think.
Yes, yes. And always relevant as well, because there's always the threat that human nature being what it is, we can never go more than 2 generations without repeating all of our mistakes and human frailties and, lack of tolerance, and it all comes back every 2 generations. And as we can see, that's happening now.
Yes,
Yeah.
even on online musical forums.
That's another thing. I've been getting like sort of stage fright lately, which is I've never had before, or maybe I have, I don't know. But because, you know, the theater queens, they scare the hell out of me. The musical theater aficionados, know everything, no, and they have these big arguments, you know, about, oh no, she was far, no, Betty was this, and oh no, this and that. And I'm like, oh, they're so opinionated and they're so vile, and they'll cut you because they don't like the fact that you're playing a role. Especially like things, iconic things like the MC. When I did that, I had people that were so against me doing it, so against me being, I still have people that are against me actually being in America because I'm British. They're like, why are you here? How did you get to be here? Why don't you go home? And that's not just Republicans either. It's people in the theater. I can't stand all that. I try, if I could, I wouldn't have Instagram. I wouldn't have Facebook. I do. But I saw someone, there was somebody post something, this was years ago, on Facebook saying, oh, Jon Peterson, the MC when I did Cabaret, and someone said, I hated him. And it was, you know, I was involved in this conversation. And they were like, I hated him. Oh, it's so awful. Everything was wrong. Everything, he was just awful and so ugly. And oh my God, and he's British. Like just like one thing after another. And like, hey, do you know I'm in this conversation as well? And then it was like silence. People are just horrible, horrible. I don't like people very much, except my husband and you and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Taylor. We've just rediscovered Elizabeth Taylor in our house. We saw the documentary about her that's just come out. They used some tapes that she recorded, this sort of a biographical thing, at some point in her life, and they used them in conjunction with film clips. It's a wonderful new documentary. I think it's called The Lost Tapes. So we watched it and we thought, let's watch Butterfield 8, because neither of us had seen it. And it's supposed to be a trashy movie that kind of sealed her reputation as the vamp. So we thought, oh, let's watch it. She's so brilliant in the movie. She gives one of the best screen performances I've ever seen. She's a genius. Elizabeth Taylor. So Elizabeth Taylor's our new icon. I know that's also a bit gay, but well, we are gay. But she was a wonderful, wonderful, and I wish I had this appreciation of her or bothered to look into her work when she was still alive, you know. And of course, the humanitarian work she did. Well, she's an angel, an angel. She should be beatified, I think. She's wonderful. Anyway, I'm drifting. Sorry.
What are some of your favorite roles to do?
Well, I loved the MC. I loved Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat in Cats. I loved it. It was wonderful, wonderful to be part of that in its prime, you know, when it was really something special to be part of. Very lucky to get into that at that time. And I shall always be grateful for the experience working with Gillian Lynn so closely as we all got to back then. It was such a privilege. Not always an easy person to get on with at all. She could be a bit of a monster, but in the most loving way, because she wanted what was best for the show and what she knew you could bring to it. So she would pull it out of you. And if she had to pull it out of you violently, she would. And then you loved her for it. She was a bit of a genius, Gillian Lynn, and very strict, of course, but full of compassion, full of love, but a passionate love for the craft. So if you were on board with that, she would put her arm around you and nurture you, you know. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful experience. I'll never forget it. And I still, even something, you know, you have these sporadic dreams at night about moments in your life, like walking down certain stairs. Do you ever have that? Like I have that. And I have moments of being in the middle of the Jellicle Ball, you know, and it's just like moments of magic. Yeah, never forget it. But again, it's hard work and there's politics involved in everything you do. There's always hierarchy, people trying to, you know, work their way up and people trying to push other people down. It goes on everywhere. It goes on in the office, I'm sure, wherever you know, if you're working in an office, it's the same thing. that was going on in Cats too. We had new people coming in to take care of this, and then they wouldn't want the old people they would try and get them fired, and all this sort of thing would go on because it was a big successful machine, and people were being ruthless to keep the whole thing, and to try to elevate themselves in there. So there was all that too. But just doing the show, if you could just show up, do the show and leave, it was heaven.
Interesting thing, Kat, because even with how loved and successful the Jellicle Ball is, I think these days people don't seem to get it as they used to, what the feeling of it.
No, I think because the shows are so big and they run for so long, that they, from a business point of view, it's safer to exactly replicate the original production, the original people in the show. So if you stray too much from there, it freaks them out. They're like, even if it's great, they don't want. So there's no room for just giving yourself on stage. You have to give what they tell you to on stage. You have to hit the mark, do this at the same time, hit that, say it in that way. Even line readings, it's just, that's just the big shows. So, but there's still joy to be had in newly written stuff. Even if the stuff isn't always good, it's still great to do, but yeah.
With these big shows, that in the early years you seem to have more room to stray than there was later, because when you see the early performers, you see people who do this and add that, and the original directors allow it but in later productions you see that it's all the same when the original people who directed it leave.
Yes. And I think because other people take over and they're trying to put their stamp on it, they're trying to put their mark on it. So their own self-interest takes over the whole production, and it becomes something else, it becomes something else. It shifts from what it was intended to be originally. It's still probably great, but it's had its soul ripped out. It's just, yeah. I don't go see those things anymore. I mean, every so often, I think I saw Chicago about a year ago, and it was actually looking really good. But again, there's something to be said for the original company, because there is something missing, whatever that is, in a long running show.
I think Chicago is because it's more become a celebrity casting production.
Yes, and it's just, but everybody else in the show is
yes,
pro, and they're doing their thing, and that's what you would go see. You go see, wow, see that kid at the back, fantastic. That's why you go see those shows still.
I think it's a sort of a shame that that's become this way, because there must be so many theater actresses who would love to do that role and could bring something new. Yeah.
But that's when it becomes the show business, when they have to get that person from, The Voice or whatever, those terrible shows, and bring them in, because all the masses have seen them, so they're going to come and see the show, and that's what keeps the show open. It may have closed years ago if they weren't doing this. It's sort of a double-edged sword. The show suffers, but it's still there, so people still can see it, such as it is, and people still have work. Like the
Yes.
working actors, working dancers, they still can have a job. So what do? It's like integrity, or just have it exist.
It's about your one-man shows. You created these shows yourself?
No, well, yes, some of them. The first one-man show I did was George M Cohan Tonight, which was at the Irish Repertory Theatre off Broadway here. And it ran for about 4 months, I think. It was just wonderful. Chip DeFar was the author of the show. And it was basically, the premise was his ghost was haunting the theatre that you were in and would appear, tell you the story, and then he would go back at the end of this show to heaven, go back into the ether. He didn't want to, he was reluctant, because he was here, he wanted to stay and put on another show, but he had to, at the end, he had to go. And it was beautiful. And then we made a movie of it during COVID. Finally, after that would have been like 12 years after we did it here, something like that. We shot the movie in the same theater, partly. We shot it in about 4 different empty theaters because they were all empty because of COVID. So we managed to get in there and get their permission to shoot there. And yeah, it's on Tubi. Tubi, have you heard of that? I hadn't until now, but it's on Tubi and it's free, I think, to see it. So if anyone wants to see George M. Cohan Tonight, it's a lovely, beautiful, touching show with something like 28 of his songs. And what a songwriter George M. Cohan was. He didn't just write Over There and Give My Regards to Broadway. He wrote some amazing, he was Irving Berlin's inspiration as a songwriter. That's how amazing he actually was. And you can hear Cohan's influence in some of Irving Berlin's ballads early on. Cohan wrote some amazingly poetic ballads. He was a genius. Again, apparently not always easy to get on with, but who is?
I think most geniuses.
That was one woman show. I did another one-man show called Song Man, Dance Man, not long after that I put together, because I was asked to do the Cohan show somewhere abroad, and they had filmed it on stage, and they said, "Oh, yeah, we prefer more than one character. Can you?" So I came up with this show, and it was the story of, I can't remember, it was like 6 people. George M. Cohan, it started with, going on to Fred Astaire, which went on to Gene Kelly, to Donald O'Connor, to Anthony Newley was one. What's his name who sang Mac the Knife? See, I did the show about him, can't remember it. Bobby Darin.
Oh, yes.
And one more. Anyway, so it was, and all their stories were linked. They had completely different careers, but they did connect, song men and dance men and song and dance men. And it was also the story of the song and dance man as well, and how it evolved. And it was a beautiful show, though I say so myself. And it won a couple of awards. It won the Connecticut Critics Drama something award, Circle. Oh, I don't know what they call these awards. I dropped it and broke it anyway, so I don't have the award anymore. It's smashed. I was cleaning. So that, and then I did a show about Anthony Newley, a whole show, which was pretty good, I have to say. And it, we did it. We tried it out in a couple of, theaters. That won an award as well, best actor in a musical, not actually best musical, but best actor in a musical. And it got his kids sort of approved of it and were like, yes, let's get it done properly, get all the rights to the songs and put it on in a proper theater. And we talked about it. And Leslie Brickus, who was Anthony Newley's writing partner, was sort of enthusiastic and like, yes, okay, yeah, let's, why not? And then he sort of turned on a dime and said, why is it? Because it was called He Wrote Good Songs. Because Anthony Newley apparently said, just write on my tombstone, he wrote good songs. So that's what I called the show. And that was kind of like how the show ended. And it was very poignant. Anyway, Leslie Brickus went from absolutely enthusiasm to, why didn't they call it They Wrote Good Songs? I don't know. So we didn't do it. I didn't destroy the files. I still have the script, but we didn't do it in the end majorly. We did it minorly, but we didn't do it in a big way. But yeah, that was a nice experience, and very nice to talk to his children, who were absolutely charming and very supportive. And I think very happy that someone had written a show about their dad, actually, but wasn't to be. And I've moved on. I've actually written one more. Now I've done a lot of independent movies, for like $100 a day. That's what they pay you. But they're wonderful and you're part of the team. So I've done so many of those that I've written a movie musical. And it's not just one character, it's a full-length thing. So we've just finished getting the music arranged. So we're going to start having read-throughs. It's kind of a time travel thing. But a musical, and it's yeah, I think it's pretty good. So that's going to happen soon. I don't think I'll be in it, but I might direct it. I'm not sure if I have enough youthful genes left in my body by the time we shoot. Maybe I'll be in it, but I'm not so sure. So I think they were all the one. Oh, I did another one-man show about Irving Berlin as well, the same guy that wrote the George M. Cohan show. Yeah, we did that about 5 years ago. It didn't quite take off. I think it needed a little something here and there. So we did do it for a while, but it didn't go any further than that. But yeah, one-man shows are, once you've done a one-man show, doing a regular musical is like, what's the point? What's the problem? It's fine, you know, it's easy. You don't get scared anymore because you've had to carry the whole show. So you're like, yeah, all right. And you don't get tired after the show because you know, you're on a quarter of the time instead of all the time. So it's great. Yeah.
You still have, next to the things you mentioned, a dream role or project that you would love to do in the future? That's great.
No, I don't. I just do whatever. If it interests me, I'll do it, but I don't have anything that, oh, actually, I would have liked to have done The Roar of the Grease Paint, The Smell of the Crowd, which is Anthony Newley, Leslie Bricker's show. But I hear the script wasn't great, so that's why it hasn't been revived. The best score you'll ever hear in a musical, but apparently the libretto was like, so I did actually get a script and read it, and I remember thinking, oh yeah, it does need a little something. So yeah, but that's never going to happen now because it's just not. And I do, you know, when people say, when you go to audition for people or for an agent specifically or a casting director, they always say to you, now, what role do you think you're right for, or you specifically love to do, especially ones that are playing now? And it just so irritating when they say that. I just want to say, I don't know. That's your job. You tell me. That's what I want to say to them. Because I don't know anymore. You know, I'm so old now. I just don't care. Just give me a job and I'll do it. You know, I play the role or I won't. So yeah, no, nothing anymore. And everything at the same time. Nothing and everything.
Did Half a Sixpence once?
Oh yes, I did that. Yeah. I did it here at the Goodspeed Opera House one summer. It was not a very nice experience. Fun show though, a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of problems with some of the members of two of the members of the cast were, I wasn't one of them, were troublesome. And they happened to be two of the leads. So it was difficult. It was difficult. Yeah, everyone was, the show was hanging on by a thread by the time it closed. It was hard work. And yeah, I didn't want to repeat that experience. Lovely show. Oh my God. Yeah. So when you interview me, I'm not, oh, it was all lovely and I was so privileged and I'm so blessed. I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to tell you how it really was. And it was mostly wonderful. And I don't know about blessed because I don't believe in that. But yeah, if I don't like someone, I'll tell them.
And the producers.
Sorry, like I've got, who are we interviewing here? Who is this person? No, I just you know, I have low tolerance for, there's a lot of what's the word, bullshitters in show business, you know, a lot of go-getters and people that are trying to like get ahead, you know, it's like politics. Show business is like politics. So there are some wonderful people and you all just have a wonderful time, but there's always these ones, you know, and I can't stand them and I let them have it when I'm with them. So, you know, a lot of celebrities are kind of like that sense of entitlement. Not all, some, oh, absolutely. The good ones are amazing. They don't, you know, the really good, like Judi Dench, for example, is the most wonderful human being and the most wonderful actor. But some of these ones, they're like, so when you work with a celebrity, you have to be like patient, usually like, let them do their thing because, you know, I guess they're bringing the people in to see the show. But I try not to have too much to do with them when I work with them. Like,
what were some of your favorite roles next to the ones we mentioned?
yes. Oh yeah, there have been plenty of others. I loved, I just did a production in Dallas of Mary Poppins, and I played Bert, you know, the chimney sweep, the Dick Van Dyke role. I loved doing that. It was lovely. I'd never done it before, and what a lovely show. Yeah, I loved that's actually one of my favorites. Last year I did Oliver for the first time and played Fagin for the first time, and that again was a joy to do. What a wonderful show! What a wonderful score, and we was a lovely cast and a lovely director. I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with names. Oh God, even when I've slept with them, I can't remember their names. That's a joke. But Dennis something wonderful. Yeah, so yeah, there are other roles. What else have I done that I enjoyed? There are other things. I can't remember now. Yeah. After a while, you forget you've done. You think, did I do that show? I did, didn't I? Like, I'm so old.
I've got some listed.
Terrible. I wonder if I have Alzheimer's. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's getting harder to remember what I've done and what I dream. Do you ever have this thing where you're not sure if you dreamed it or if it actually happened? Like, did I? I'm like that. This show. Did I do that show?
But sometimes, did I do it or did I watch it on TV?
Yes. Oh, that too. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I was at a party once and I was chatting to this lady and I knew her. And she was just gorgeous, lovely lady. And we were chatting for about 45 minutes. And I said, what show did we do together? I can't remember which one it was. And she said, oh, we've never worked together, darling. I was in EastEnders. You've probably just seen me on the TV. It was Pat Butcher. And it's lovely. And yeah, I thought I knew her. I was like, I know you from somewhere. I must have worked with her, but no. Yeah.
Must you know that the producers.
Oh gosh, yes. Wow. That was at the Argyle Theatre here in New York. And it was lovely because I got to play, my God, what are these characters' names? See, I can't remember. Once I finished the show, I'm like, I don't remember the him. And my partner, my real life partner, played Roger Debris. I remember his name, Roger Debris, the partner of whoever the hell I played. So we played partners on stage and we were partners off, and that was such fun. And God, he was so good in the part too. But it was very interesting because as soon as we walked into the theater, we were no longer an item. You know, we were just two actors sharing a dressing room, playing a couple on stage and working the scenes out together. Just, you want to go over this? And all very professional. Then when we got out, theater was gone and we were back being a couple again. So it was really good. We had a healthy working relationship that didn't affect or have anything to do with our real relationship. And I'd never had that. We actually met doing a chorus line. But the last time either of us did that show, actually. Oh, that's another show that is a favorite. So that's the only other time we worked together, was right at the beginning of our relationship 22 years ago. And then maybe 18 years later, we did the producers together.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah. His name is John Salvatore, and he's much more talented than I am.
Yeah. Did you ever think of writing a show for the two of you?
You know, when we both get frustrated with this tawdry little business we're in, we do say we should do something together, shouldn't we? And we can never think of what it would be. I've actually written a part for him in this movie that I'm going to hopefully shoot in the next couple of years, because he does these wonderful comedy characters, which everyone who knows him knows that he does. And he's done them at like Broadway Cares concerts, you know, stuff like that. But anyway, I've written a part for one of his characters, so hopefully he'll be in our movie. I'm going to make him a star. Yeah, he's a wonderful, talented man. You should be interviewing him, not me. He's far more interesting and far more talented.
You did also do Sing in the Rain.
Oh gosh, yes, Singing in the Rain. That's another one I enjoy. I've forgotten I did. I forget I've done them. Yes, I did that one with Joey Sorge, who's done a lot of Broadway shows, and he was Gene Kelly. I don't remember the name of the character, and I was Donald O'Connor. I don't remember the name of the character, and we did it. Oh, it was a while ago now. I think it was about 13 years ago or something. Wonderful, loved it. Yeah, lovely cast too. Joey was magic, and we got on so well. Um, yeah, yeah, Singing in the Rain. Gosh, yeah. I think even then I was a bit old for it, but I still managed to get it up. Actually, I was too old for Bert in Mary Poppins doing it now as well. You know, I was getting to the character about 10 years too late. So I caught every night I come home from rehearsals and pop a couple of ibuprofen and before the rehearsals to get through the show so that no one would know, you know, that it was killing me. So I called myself Bert Biden. No reflection on wonderful Joe Biden, who's my hero, but you know, because he's a little older and I'm a little older, and he's trying to make people just shut up and let him get on with his job, and I was trying to tap dance and fly. Yeah.
Are there any shows of the past that you, the black and white movies that you wish that would have been brought to stage?
Um, oh, I don't know. Do you mean shows that I did that I wish?
Shows that you saw in your youth that you wish you could have done.
Oh, I see. Yes, yeah. Um, no, really. No, I think actually I did most of them. I always wanted to do. I saw Chorus Line when I was 13 or something, and when it came to London, and I want to do that show. I want to be Paul San Marco, and then I did years and years later. But I did, you know, when I grew up.
Is there anything you would like to add to the interview about your life or career that you haven't talked about?
No, not really. Other than it's been a lot of fun sporadically. I've met some absolutely amazing people, and I've met some awful people, and I met some ambitious people, and I've dated some of them, thinking that it was love, but really they were just like, you were the trophy wife or whatever, husband, until they realized that that wasn't what you were, and then like, just get away from me. So yeah, it's been interesting. There's always a sense of frustration from the inside. I mean, I feel like I haven't even had a career. I feel like it's just been one failure after another. But then people say, you've done this, you did that. Oh my God, you were, oh, I saw you in that. And like, really? Oh, because I always think it was just, the whole thing was just one huge disappointment, you know, but I'm still at it. It's just about trying to like do new stuff, and I'm writing still. And so I suppose where there's life, there's hope, right? Um, um, yeah, so I guess it's not over yet because I can't do a roundup of my career because I feel like I haven't started it yet. um, no, it's not like kids now. They have so much what's the word, confidence, and because they're brought up to know that they are the chosen one, the one with all the talent, you know, and so they believe it. And of course, when you have confidence, you are more talented than you really are because you give it off, you know. So people go, oh, I was so talented, but actually they're just really confident. Whereas in my day, like a kid would come out of the stage door and you'd see them and you go, you were fantastic in the show. Thank you. You know, thank you for being so great. And they go, oh, you're so kind. Thank you. I really, you know, they're been self-deprecating. But now you go to the stage or you see someone wonderful and you tell them you were fantastic, and they go, thank you, and they walk by. And that's the kids now. They're like, I know. And I suppose it's good to have confidence, but humility is endearing. Confidence is actually not endearing. They haven't got that yet. That actually you can't have any empathy for a person that has more confidence than talent. You know, any empathy you have for them goes out of the window, but they haven't got that yet. They're too busy scratching each other's backs. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to actually keep it going. But I think because I also teach hot yoga, and I do hot yoga, not as much as I used to, but I do it. And that keeps me really in shape because it's so harsh on the body that it just shocks your body into shape. So if I keep doing that, I'm going to keep going. Because I had heart surgery 21 years ago, open heart surgery. I didn't realize all those years as a dancer, I had a congenital heart defect, and it was like holes in the heart, and it was like blood was leaking everywhere, and it would go, and I go, this doesn't feel right. So they finally said, oh, if you don't get that done, you'll be dead in 3 years. So I had to have it done. Maybe that's why now I'm so, I think it is, because when you have a major thing like that, afterwards you have different priorities, and I definitely do. You know, none of that shit matters anymore. I'm going to make something of my life. It's just like, I don't care. I just want to be happy and laugh. And that's what I do. I laugh. Sometimes when I shouldn't. Yeah, I don't have any, and I'm not in this business to make friends anymore. So I make more friends than I used to, because, you know, I see the real people now. You don't just try to get on with everyone. You get on with the people that you like. So it's much more fun.
Thank you so much for this little interview. It was so great talking to you.
Oh, thank you. You'll have to do a lot of editing, I think. Cut out all the bits where I didn't say any names, did I? Wasn't mean about specific people.
No, didn't.
Oh, damn. Well, let me give you the list. No. Oh, it was so lovely to meet you and to chat with you. Your questions were fantastic.
Thank you.
Long answering them, but I'm a bit of an old fishwife. I do like a gossip.
Yes.
All right. Well, you take care, and thank you so much for having me. All right. Lots of love to you.
To you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Behind the Mirror of Music with Dannii Cohen.